Hello everyone, I'm Eric from Sports 365. Here with me once again is my colleague Alex. So, as you all know, the 2023 summer transfer window is now open. So we've already seen some deals get completed, none so far from Marshall, but still been busy already, so we're gonna get into what Arsenal's already done so far. So, one player that's been heavily linked to Arsenal, somewhat surprisingly, at least to me, is Kai Havertz. It seemed like maybe a move would be good for him and possibly for Chelsea as well. He's obviously very talented, but hasn't quite clicked for him there. So it's that Arsenal are interested in. Apparently, they're getting closer to actually getting that deal done. And the reports are that Havertz does want to play for Arsenal as well. So, bit of not surprisingly, but definitely interesting. So, what are your overall thoughts on Arsenal's pursuit of Kai Havertz?
Yeah, we could use moving forward. He hasn't been that great at Chelsea, but he's clearly very talented. I've been hearing rumors of fees up to £80 million, which obviously is way too much. But if we can get him for significantly cheaper than that, I think that'd be a good move.
Yeah, of course. As well, transfers, the fee is very important. The fee that I've seen so far is 60 million. That might actually be agreed on. Hasn't been agreed on yet, but so it would be a significant investment. But I think Havertz could be a good addition. He's 24, so he's still in his prime years. Only scored 19 goals so far from Chelsea across 91 appearances, so not exactly great. But I don't think the situation there is going to be ideal for him to flourish. It's kind of been a lot of chaos at Chelsea ever since Roman Abramovich was forced to sell the club. So I think he could definitely add new dimension to the Arsenal's attack with his height and physicality and all that. So I think it could be an interesting addition. I think another forward player could definitely be good, especially what would happen to Jesus with his injury, adding a little bit more attacking depth would probably be good. And ultimately it's a bit of a surprise, but if Arteta really wants him and believes that he would help the club, then I trust his judgment. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, another player that Arsenal have been interested in for a long time, for months before this transfer window even started, is Declan Rice. Obviously, it was clear that last season was going to be his final season with West Ham. Doesn't have a long left on his contract and wants to move on to a bigger club, playing in the Champions League, and reportedly quite interested in joining Arsenal. West Ham did reject Arsenal's initial bid of about £90 million. They're still considering Arsenal's second bid of about £100 million, which would be $9 million up front, 10 and another 10 million, and potential future add-ons. So definitely really trying to get that deal done, as I think they definitely should. So, what are your thoughts on Arsenal's links with Declan Rice and their pursuit of him?
Yeah, obviously we've been with Declan Rice for quite some time. He's a fantastic, box-to-box midfielder, exactly the sort of player we need. And it seems like he wants to join Arsenal, so I think this deal is going to get done. And I think West Ham will most likely accept our second bid, and we'll be able to sign Rice.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that any deal for Declan Rice was going to be quite expensive. Obviously, £100 million would be Arsenal's record transfer fee. But considering Declan Rice's quality, considering that he can play in a variety of midfield roles, I think it's absolutely worth it, and also in the prime years of his career as well, does seem to be very interested in playing for the club. So hopefully West Ham accept that second bid, and Declan Rice becomes an Arsenal player. As with the Havertz situation, I would expect some major developments after the end of the current international break. Because obviously Declan Rice right now is just focusing on playing with the England squad. So spoke before about another a current Arsenal player, Saliba. Talked about how he's verbally recommitted to Arsenal, committed to sign a new contract with the club, but now he actually has, and so now Saliba will be under contract Arsenal until at least 2027. The new contract does include an option for an additional year as well. So yeah, it's definitely very good to see Saliba sign a new contract and officially recommit to the club. What are your thoughts on Saliba actually signing that new contract and that being done?
Yeah, I'm really happy that he did sign a new contract. He's a big part of the club's future. I mean, I thought he was going to sign the contract, but it's obviously very reassuring that everything's officially done now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we discussed in an earlier video, it was a bit different between that and Martinelli and Saka signed new contracts. Obviously, last season was the first season where Saliba's actually played for the Arsenal first team. He's been there, a significant contributor, and was one of Arsenal's best players last season. Arsenal really felt his absence in the later part of the season, that's for sure. So it's definitely good to have him tied down to a new contract, and I'm sure he'll probably be even better for Arsenal next season. Now he has a good amount of league experience. Now, there's actually one player departure that's been agreed on. Maitland-Niles is going to leave Arsenal after the end of his current contract, which runs out this summer. He's been with Arsenal for a long time, joined Arsenal's academy at the age of 6, broke through the first team at 17, and has made 132 appearances for the club. Obviously, won 2 trophies, the FA Cup and the Community Shield, both in 2020. And he scored in the penalty shootout to win the Community Shield against Liverpool back then. So largely been a faithful servant for the club, but it's now going to be moving on somewhere else. What are your thoughts on Maitland-Niles leaving the club?
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see a player who came through the academy and made it to the first team leave, but he's not good enough, so he needs to find another club. That's a blunt way to put it, but it's also true. So I wish him all the best. I hope he can find a Premiership club, maybe a newly promoted club or something. And, like I said, I wish him all the best.
Yeah, I would say he's always been a faithful servant for the club. I think he's certainly good enough to still play the Premier League. Just not necessarily for a club with Arsenal's ambitions. And of course there was a whole incident about how he didn't really want to play right back and want to play midfield, and that I think that really kind of put his prospects at Arsenal not accepting that right back role, especially since I think he would have been at least decent in that role. So unfortunately that didn't work out. As you said, it's a little bit sad to see him go, because he's been with Arsenal since the age of 6 when he joined the academy, and in the first team since he was 17. So it's a bit of fun for a long time, but I think he'll probably end up at another Premier League club. I think he's good enough to play in the Premier League at least. Wish him the best, but his time at Arsenal is up now. So there you have it. No official deals done yet, but Arsenal are closing on deals for Havertz and Declan Rice. It's also really good to see Saliba sign that new contract, and then listen to the player departures. Maitland-Niles is leaving, so those are still no official signings yet. Still good amount of activity from Arsenal. It's good to see the club really being proactive and trying to get their business done as early as possible. And hopefully there'll be some completed signings soon. And I'm excited to see what Arsenal do over the course of the rest of this transfer window.
Yeah, me too.